Hey guys, it's Darren with Petterson Properties at Michigan Lakes team, and thanks for tuning in to What's Up on Wednesday. Today we're going to tackle 3 common fears of first-time homebuyers and how to overcome them. Buying your first home can be one of the most exciting experiences of your life, but it can also be one of the scariest. Buying real estate is a complicated process, and if you've never bought a home before, the fear of all those unknown variables can make the experience stressful, frustrating, and downright terrifying. If you're thinking about purchasing a home but are dealing with the fear that comes along with it, don't worry, you're not alone. Most first-time home buyers deal with a certain level of fear as they get ready to buy their first home. But that fear doesn't have to hold you back. Here are the 3 most common fears of first-time home buyers and how you can overcome them. 1. I can't afford to buy a home. The number one fear most first-time home buyers struggle with is the fear they can't afford to buy a home. But while there are certainly people who aren't in the financial position to purchase a home, becoming a homeowner isn't as expensive as you might think. And sometimes all it takes to be able to buy a home is a little budgeting. If you're worried about being able to afford a home, it's time to take a good hard look at your finances. Make a list of all your monthly expenses and all your debt. How much are you spending per month on living expenses? How does that compare to how much you'd be spending per month on living expenses if you were to purchase a home? How much are you saving each month? Are there opportunities to cut back on spending and pad your savings a little more each month? How much debt do you carry and what's your plan to pay it down? Getting a firm understanding of your financial situation will A, give you a better idea how much you can afford to comfortably spend on a house, and B, help you come up with a plan to get there. 2. My credit score isn't perfect. How am I ever going to get a loan? If you have less than perfect credit, a major fear you might be dealing with is how you're going to get a mortgage. Many first-time homebuyers fear that their credit report might hold them back from securing a loan. But while getting a mortgage with not so hot credit can be a challenge, it's certainly not impossible. First things first, if you're thinking about purchasing a home, you need to get a copy of your credit report. According to an FTC report, 1 in 5 Americans have a mistake on their credit report, and those mistakes can end up costing you in the long run. The lower your credit score, the higher your interest rate will be, so it's important to make sure there's nothing inaccurate on your report that's dragging down your score. Once you reviewed your credit report, you'll want to do everything you can to bring up your score before you apply for a loan, like pay down any high credit card balances, which will bring your credit utilization up and bump your score. You'll also want to make sure you pay all your bills, including your rent and utility bills, on time, which will help show lenders you're responsible for all your debts. If you do all these things and still get stuck with a high interest mortgage, it's not the end of the world. You can always continue to work on increasing your credit score and refinance in the future. 3. I have no idea what I'm doing. How am I supposed to successfully buy a home? As mentioned, buying a home is a complicated process. From knowing the market to finding the right properties to negotiating with sellers, there's a lot to handle. And if you've never purchased a home, it can feel overwhelming. The sense of I have no idea what I'm doing can be pretty dang terrifying. But luckily, you don't have to know what you're doing when it comes to buying a home, as long as you work with someone who does, like myself. Working with me, who understands your market, is an invaluable resource, especially to first-time home buyers. Not only can I walk you through the entire process, but I can also handle the hard stuff, like finding that perfect property and negotiating with tough sellers, so you don't have to. You might be afraid that the fact you've never purchased a home before will hinder the process. But when you work with me, there's nothing to be afraid of. Purchasing your first home can be a scary process, but now that you know the most common fears and how to overcome them, it's time to transform that fear into excitement and get out there and find the home of your dreams. As always, thanks for your time, and I look forward to working with you in the near future.